Have you ever noticed how the world has almost 200 countries, but everyone seems to be visiting the same nations over and over again? I was looking at the 2025 travel numbers, and let me tell you, some of these places aren't just popular, they're getting visited like they're handing out free money at the airport. We're talking crowds so big the locals probably wake up wondering if they accidentally left their country unlocked overnight. And what's wild is that a few of the countries pulling the biggest tourism numbers aren't even the ones you'd expect. Today, we're looking at the 10 most visited countries in the world, 2025. Places so irresistible that millions of people keep showing up every year, even when the flights are expensive, the lines are long, and the weather is doing whatever it wants. Let's take a look at who's running the travel world right now. Number 10, we have United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is like that classic novel everyone pretends they've read, but secretly only knows from movie adaptations. Yet somehow this place pulls around 36 million visitors every year, making it one of the most consistently traveled destinations on the planet. And honestly, it makes sense. Because the UK has mastered a rare skill, looking modern and ancient at the same time. London alone could fuel an entire tourism industry. A walk through the city feels like scrolling through a history textbook someone sprinkled with overpriced coffee shops. People come for Buckingham Palace, Big Ben, the London Eye, and that magical feeling of realizing the weather forecast lied to them, again. But London works because it feels alive, messy, loud, stylish, chaotic, charming, and expensive in all the ways tourists secretly expect. But the real UK experience isn't just London. Scotland brings in millions with landscapes that are so dramatic, they deserve their own soundtrack. Edinburgh's Old Town looks handcrafted for tourism. The Highlands? They make visitors believe they're on an epic adventure even if they only hiked 15 minutes before giving up and taking a picture. Then there's England's countryside, the Cotswolds, Bath, Oxford, where people walk around saying things like quaint and lovely because there's no other vocabulary that fits. And despite rising travel costs, the UK stays strong because it gives visitors everything: history, culture, scenery, accents, and pubs where even the chairs feel older than your home country. It's not perfect, but travelers don't want perfect. They want character. And the UK has plenty. Number 9, Germany. Germany welcomed around 39 million visitors in 2025, proving once again that efficiency and tourism can, in fact, go hand in hand. Germany doesn't oversell itself. It simply shows up, does its job, organizes everything neatly, and earns the respect of millions of travelers every year. Berlin is the heart of it all, a city where history hits you in the face before the techno music does. Tourists come for museums, cathedrals, memorials, street art, and currywurst that tastes better than it looks. Berlin has that rare ability to be deeply serious and completely unserious at the same time, and visitors love that balance. Then there's Bavaria, which might actually be responsible for half the tourism posters ever printed. Neuschwanstein Castle alone attracts a flood of travelers, partly because it inspired Disney, but mostly because it looks like something a 10-year-old would design if you gave them unlimited crayons. Munich offers beer halls, festivals, and a level of order that somehow still feels cozy. Germany's medieval towns are another story. Rothenburg, Bamberg, and Heidelberg each look like they were frozen in time, perfectly preserved just to let tourists feel like they've traveled back a few centuries. But here's Germany's real secret: seasonal tourism. Oktoberfest? Millions attend and remember about half of it. Christmas markets? Germany basically invented holiday charm. Germany doesn't rely on beaches or tropical climates. It wins because it offers variety, structure, culture, and a feeling that everything here is exactly where it should be. Visitors appreciate that sense of order. It makes travel feel easy, understandable, and oddly relaxing. Number 8, Thailand. Thailand attracted over 40 million visitors in 2025, and honestly, it could double that number and nobody would be surprised. This country is the travel equivalent of comfort food: reliable, satisfying, and guaranteed to lift your mood. Bangkok alone is one of the most visited cities on Earth. It's loud, bright, chaotic, delicious, overwhelming, and somehow peaceful at the same time. Visitors arrive thinking they'll stay 2 days, and suddenly a week has disappeared. The temples glow, the street markets never end, and the food is so good it makes people rethink every meal they've ever eaten. But the north is where travelers find the soul of Thailand. Chiang Mai offers mountains, elephant sanctuaries, peaceful temples, and night markets that turn everyone into a professional shopper. It has this warm, grounding energy that makes visitors think, maybe I'll just move here for a bit. And of course, the beaches. Phuket, Krabi, Koh Samui, Phi Phi, places so beautiful they could convince you that stationary sunsets still matter. Thailand practically invented the tropical dream vacation aesthetic. Longtail boats, turquoise water, soft sand, palm trees, and that perfect golden light. But Thailand's biggest strength is affordability. A $4 meal tastes like heaven. A $20 massage feels like therapy. A $15 boat tour looks like a dream on Instagram. People don't just visit Thailand, they fall in love with it. The hospitality, the food, the nature, the culture, everything blends together effortlessly. That's why millions keep returning. Number 7. Mexico. Mexico welcomed around 42 million visitors in 2025, and the country didn't even flinch. Mexico has this rare ability to absorb massive waves of tourists and still feel relaxed, colorful, and effortlessly inviting. A big part of that success comes from the fact that Mexico is basically 10 vacation destinations disguised as one country. Cancun remains the crown jewel, a place where visitors confidently declare, "I'm here to relax," only to schedule their entire week with snorkeling tours, ancient ruin excursions, boat cruises, and resort buffets they definitely overpaid for. The Riviera Maya, stretching down to Tulum, continues to attract wellness travelers, digital nomads, and influencers who spend 80% of their trip posing on beaches and the other 20% drinking coconut water like they're in a commercial. But Mexico City is where the cultural magic hits. It's gigantic and chaotic in the best possible way, full of energy, food markets, Aztec ruins, colonial streets, museums, and coffee shops that make visitors rethink their entire personality. It's one of the most visited cities in North America for good reason. Then there are Mexico's smaller gems, Guanajuato, Puebla, Oaxaca, and Mérida. Cities with colorful houses, historic plazas, festivals, and food so good it should come with a warning label. Mexico knows exactly who it is and never apologizes for it. Travelers feel that authenticity immediately. Of course, the beaches help. Puerto Vallarta, Los Cabos, Isla Mujeres, each one feels like a 4K screensaver someone made just to make office workers jealous. Mexico succeeds because it's a perfect mix. Affordable, diverse, easy to reach, intensely flavorful, culturally rich, visually stunning, and emotionally unforgettable. Travelers don't just visit Mexico, they return, again and again, like it's a second home. Number 6. Japan. Japan pulled around 45 million visitors in 2025, which honestly feels low considering how often people say, "One day, I'm going to Japan." It's the destination everyone dreams about, and once they get there, they immediately start planning their next trip. Tokyo is the main attraction, and for good reason. It feels like the future, the past, and a neon-filled fever dream all happening at once. Visitors wander through Shibuya Crossing like they're part of a movie, eat ramen at 1 a.m., explore anime districts, and marvel at how even convenience store food tastes suspiciously gourmet. Then there's Kyoto, the emotional reset button of Japan. Temples that feel untouched for centuries, bamboo forests that look cinematic no matter what you're wearing, and peaceful shrines where tourists suddenly feel wiser, even though they still can't use chopsticks properly. Osaka adds the fun and the flavor. It feels like Japan's street food capital, offering takoyaki, okonomiyaki, neon lights, and a completely different personality from Tokyo and Kyoto. It's bold, loud, friendly, and delicious. Japan's mountains and countryside also play a surprising role in tourism growth. Places like Hakone, Hokkaido, and Nara give visitors a chance to slow down, enjoy hot springs, meet deer that act like they own the place, and breathe air that feels too fresh to be legal. What truly sets Japan apart is the balance. Efficiency plus culture plus scenery plus food plus kindness. Everything feels intentional, everything works, everything is clean, and everything from bullet trains to vending machines leaves tourists wondering why their own country can't get it together. Japan isn't just a destination, it's an experience people carry with them long after their flight home. Number 5. Italy. Italy welcomed around 52 million visitors in 2025, which is impressive considering half the tourists get so distracted by food that they forget to leave. Italy doesn't compete with other travel destinations. It competes with your sense of self-control. Rome remains the giant magnet. The Colosseum alone pulls millions, and that's just one building. Tourists walk around the city stunned by how much history survived, only to trip on a cobblestone and remember the roads are also historical. The Vatican brings pilgrims, art lovers, and people who pretend they understand Michelangelo's brushwork even though they Googled it 5 minutes before entering. Florence attracts the romantics and the soft life crowd. The Duomo, the art museums, the Tuscan countryside, everything looks so perfect it feels staged. People visit Tuscany and suddenly want to buy vineyards, even though they can't keep a houseplant alive. Venice remains eternally iconic. Tourists know it's crowded, expensive, and slowly sinking, and they still show up by the millions because nothing else in the world looks like Venice. A city built on water shouldn't work, but Venice doesn't care about logic. Amalfi Coast, Cinque Terre, Sicily, Puglia, every region offers a different version of beauty. And then there's the food. Italy doesn't just feed you. Italy fixes your mood, your ego, your confidence, and maybe even your childhood trauma. One bite of pasta, and suddenly you believe life isn't that bad after all. Italy succeeds because it gives travelers something deeper than scenery. It gives them stories, emotions, and meals they will never forget. Number 4. Turkey. Turkey brought in around 55 million visitors in 2025 because it has mastered the art of giving travelers everything they want at once. History that spans thousands of years? Check. Beaches that look photoshopped? Check. Cities that blend two continents? Absolutely. Istanbul is the powerhouse, one of the most visited cities in the world. Walking here feels like moving through different eras every few minutes. The Hagia Sophia, Blue Mosque, and Topkapi Palace, all enormous, all breathtaking, all reminders that this city has been important for longer than most countries have existed. Visitors love the energy. Bazaars, ferries, tea houses, and street cats that pose for pictures like professional models. Cappadocia is Turkey's scene stealer. The moment those hot air balloons rise at sunrise, tourists enter their main character arc. It's impossible not to take a perfect photo here, even blurry ones look majestic. Antalya and Bodrum anchor Turkey's beach tourism. Crystal water, ancient ruins on cliffs, all-inclusive resorts, yachts, nightlife, and sunshine that doesn't apologize for being dramatic. Europeans visit these areas as casually as you visit the grocery store. Turkey's real secret weapon is value. You get world-class experiences without spending your life savings. Visitors walk away feeling like they enjoyed a luxury vacation at a reasonable price, which is why so many return. Turkey isn't just a destination. It's a perfectly balanced combination of old and new, calm and chaotic, mountains and sea. It is travel variety in its purest form. Number 3. United States. The United States brought in around 60 million visitors in 2025, which is impressive considering the country is roughly the size of 23 normal nations stacked together. The US isn't a travel destination, it's a whole collection of travel experiences wearing one passport. New York leads the tourism parade. Times Square alone attracts more people than some entire countries, even though everyone who visits swears they hated the crowds. People come for Broadway, Central Park, skyscrapers, museums, food, and that magical feeling of walking through a place they've seen in movies their entire life. Orlando is the theme park capital of Earth. Millions arrive ready to spend 3 days arguing with their kids about which ride to go on first. Disney and Universal continue to dominate family travel, and visitors willingly stand in 90-minute lines to ride something that lasts 90 seconds. Las Vegas is entertainment in concentrated form. Casinos, shows, neon lights, and hotels so big they require navigation skills. It's the one place where tourists feel like anything is possible, until the credit card bill arrives. California adds beaches, iconic highways, tech hubs, national parks, and more sunsets than any camera can handle. Los Angeles brings Hollywood dreams, while San Francisco brings hills that ruin your legs. The US wins big because it offers every climate, every landscape, and every vibe. Deserts, mountains, beaches, forests, cities, small towns. You can live 5 different vacations without ever leaving the country. Americans sometimes forget how enormous and varied their nation is, but international tourists notice immediately. Number 2. Spain. Spain welcomed around 85 million visitors this year, making it one of the strongest tourism giants in Europe. And honestly, Spain doesn't hustle for attention. It just exists beautifully. Barcelona carries most of the weight. Gaudi architecture, beaches, nightlife, parks, food markets, everything here feels vibrant, warm, and alive. Tourists come for the Sagrada Familia and stay for tapas that cost less than bottled water in most European cities. Madrid, on the other hand, delivers elegance. Museums like the Prado and Reina Sofia pull in millions. Gran Via, Retiro Park, and the city's endless cafes make visitors feel like they've stepped into a Spanish film. And then there's southern Spain, Seville, Malaga, and Cordoba. These cities glow. The architecture, the music, the courtyards, the festivals, everything feels handcrafted with love. Spain's beaches attract Europeans non-stop. The Balearic Islands, Mallorca, Ibiza, and Menorca, are legendary. The Canary Islands offer year-round sunshine, perfect for escaping cold winters. But Spain's biggest strength? It's fun. Warm weather, affordable prices, safe streets, good food, and relaxed culture, Spain makes travelers feel welcomed, unhurried, and at home. And finally, at number 1, we have France. France once again takes the crown with around 95 million visitors in 2025. At this point, France could try to discourage tourists, close the Eiffel Tower every Tuesday, hide the croissants, unplug the streetlights, and people would still come. Paris leads the charge. The Eiffel Tower alone pulls more visitors than some national parks. The Louvre attracts art lovers, casual tourists, and people who just want to see the Mona Lisa so they can say, "It's smaller than I expected." The city's cafes, bridges, and river views create a dreamlike atmosphere travelers can't resist. But France is far bigger than Paris. Nice, Lyon, Bordeaux, Marseille, Strasbourg, Annecy, every region feels like its own little world. The lavender fields in Provence, the vineyards in Bordeaux, the snowy Alps near Chamonix, France knows beauty. And then there's the food. French cuisine is not just food, it's ceremony. Bread, cheese, pastries, wine. Tourists always come home with 2 things: a camera full of photos and 5 extra pounds. France succeeds because it blends charm, elegance, culture, and emotion. It gives visitors an experience that feels meaningful, the kind of trip people remember for decades. Alright, that's the list. The 10 most visited countries in the world. The places millions of people can't stop traveling to year after year. Each of them offers something unique, something unforgettable, something that keeps travelers coming back. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, drop a comment, share it with someone who loves to travel, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We've got more places to explore, more stories to uncover, and more lists that might inspire your next adventure. Until next time, take care of yourself and the people around you.